lot of situations. Guys made plays on both sides of the ball. Need more consistency, which is about typical for now, and a little more urgency at times with some things. Got to be situationally more intelligent when we play. And I think that's something we got to constantly, like I say, as we evaluate, we got to educate. And part of your evaluation has to do with your education on understanding how to play down in distances and field positions and different things, what you're trying to accomplish. And there's some good and bad in both those situations, but we'll look for the tape and learn. But good plays, bad plays, we'll look and see. Questions?
When you talk about some of the situational things, what have you seen?
Third down, red zone coming out, 2 minute, 1st and 10 philosophy, 2nd and 10, what you're trying to accomplish, what you're trying to call, things like that.
In those situations, how's DeAndre's decision making been?
Okay. I mean, he's done some really good things. There's some things he needs to improve on. Anybody?
How short yardage and getting the push and getting.
We had 2 or 3. I think we picked them up. There's one 3rd and 3, but I wasn't in between the 3. I was not there. There's a couple decently. Played pretty good there. Goal line. We haven't done a lot of goal line yet. We're going to pound that goal line as the next week or so. We spent one series down just to get lined up and did it. And went through it. We hadn't had a chance to work on that as much. Both sides of the ball. We just did it to get it done. No, I wouldn't judge either way, whether it was a good play or bad play. And it was both on the deal. We haven't worked that a lot. That'll be stressed this week in camp.
How was red zone?
Pretty good. Pretty good for most part. Again, trying to go off the top of my head. Defense had a couple moments down there. Offense did some really nice things. Pretty.
With Josh and Jacob out,
I'm sorry?
With Josh and Jacob Hugh out,
yeah.
They get Burns and those guys a lot more.
Oh, yeah, they got a lot of at-bats. They played that. They were getting it anyway. They were going to get them anyway. They Burns earned them. But some of those guys stood out, did okay.
What's up with Hugh?
Got something with his foot. I think he's got a foot spring. What it looks like right now.
You talked a lot.
He's doing a good job, too. Playing good.
You talked about him a lot on Sunday. Is Naquan Murray a guy who can continue to look strong?
He did okay. He made a few plays.
Anybody flashy on either side of the ball, Coach?
Derwin made a couple plays. Dalvin, we let get 5 or 6 carries early in the game, looked okay. And at times, different skill guys. I mean, there were some people rushing the passer. Burns did rushing. Naughty, inside, strong. Matthew Thomas flashed at me a couple times. Trey Marshall coming up making some plays. Offensively, again, I saw Bobo make a couple nice ones. Kermit made a few. Young back or Sue had a run or two that wasn't bad. Mooney had a couple plays. Bobo, like I said, tight end, made a catch or two. It was kind of cross.
Everybody gets so enamored with the big receivers. But what does Mooney do?
He gets real open and catches the ball. At the end of the day, you get enamored by the big stuff. You're getting open, you're catching the ball. I mean, it ain't nothing hard to learn. You got to run a route. They got prep. See, big guys, one thing big guys have trouble with is people say power, but if they jam them and they don't have body quicks, they don't get off. You know what I'm saying? And our guys, Tate had a couple of nice plays. They get him back. He had a play or two I wish he would have made, but then he made a couple that he didn't make, come back and make. But he hadn't practiced a lot, you know what I mean, getting back into it. So, in that regard. But Nooney's live. He runs routes to stick his foot. And he's got great vertical. He can get up.
Coach, the last couple of years we've taken kicking for granted. How have the young guys come in?
I think both of them were 2 out of 3 on field goals in the big part. But then in scrimmage, I think we missed one, either PAT or a field goal altogether. I think we missed one, I believe it was, maybe 2. I mean, there was quite a few kicked. So in some distances, different times, you know what I mean? So I'm right now, after the first week, I'm pretty pleased where we're at. I mean, we're not where we want to be, but I'm not disappointed there at all.
How's Jack Steve been coming along?
Okay, punting and doing a great job holding too. Everybody talks about his hunting. I mean, his punting, but he's holding too. He's done a real nice job of that.
And what's that like for him knowing that he has a righty and a lefty? I mean, is it really that different?
Yes, it is. Different hands. I mean, right hand, right left hand.
Both.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, you got to do both.
How do they handle the heat? How do they handle the heat?
Tough. They grind. That was one of the things I think. Our mental toughness isn't where it should be yet. Totally. I mean, there are some things that grind us. I'm not saying everybody, but we got to get more guys. It's been a hard week. We haven't had any days off. Today was a warm one. That's why I want to get. We play at noon 2 out of the first 3 games. You know what I'm saying? I want to get out there and get used to it. and they'll be on turf when we go to Louisville. Charleston Southern for that, and of course a night game early, but in that regard. So, but I think we got to get more mental toughness. We do. We got to get a little mental. I'm not disappointed, but we got to. There's another level we're used to.
How important is it this time of year to build your depth when the guys are out and get those chances for those guys?
First thing building your depth. The first thing you got to build that first unit. You get caught in that, you better build that first group and then build that depth. But we're getting there.
Any injuries to note?
No, I don't think there was today. Not that I'm aware of. Nothing that was major. You know what I mean?
Is Tavares getting any separation at that position? Tavares McFadden?
What do you mean separation?
Between him and Marcus?
No, they're both playing equal number of snaps and mixing in.
You mentioned yesterday.
He's not doing bad. I mean, they're both getting. You know what I mean?
You mentioned yesterday the idea of making sure plays happen for the right reason and not for breakdowns.
Exactly
like
right.
That.
Yes, a lot. There were some really good ones that way, and a couple that weren't. But that's part of it. But there was more. I was more pleased with that today than I had been.
How about and then just DeAndre just getting? Is this a scrimmage where you look at the operation getting on the field and all that?
Exactly right. And I think, and as a young quarterback, as you get confidence, your presence increases, your command increases. Those are things not that I don't think they're bad, but those will continue to grow. You know what I'm saying, and where he's at.
Jimbo, you mentioned yesterday how he handles a mistake when a guy misses a block, runs a wrong route. How did he handle that today?
For the most part today, he threw the ball really well. Made a lot of plays downfield. Had quite a few touchdown passes. I think he had one interception, and it was a perfect decision. Just a hair, but he threw it with conviction. It wasn't a bad interception. It was right guy, right place. Just threw it about 2 inches high. You know what I'm saying? And you can work with that, but threw it convincingly and and made the play. But from that standpoint, I was happy.
Are you seeing him getting more conviction behind the ball?
Yeah.
Comfortable with his decisions.
It's hard to stand by me and not get it. At least you better pretend to get it. You don't want to hear it, and that's part of jabbing him. You know what I mean?
How did the other quarterbacks look during the scrimmage?
Okay, they're getting there. And I'm worried about game management things. We're trying to be simple, not do crazy things. But then they picked it up as it went.
Jimbo, practicing here versus practice out there, just kind of the mindset of the guys. And
I hope it's a whole different in here. Not that over there we're not really to work and grind. When you come in here, it's special. You don't get so many chances to get on that field. And how many people in the country love to come play on that field? You come in there, you better have a different mindset.
Jimbo, how did Sean surgery go?
Good, really well. Really well. I mean, clean. They said no big deal. Hopefully it looks like it should be a little.
With the changes in the stadium, can we gain from scrimmages and practice how different it's going to be playing in here with the line?
Block out the clutter, don't matter.
Jimbo, does Sean's recovery time still stay on the 4 week?
Seems like it, I guess. I'm not MD Fisher. Hi, if it was up to me, I'd say no, week and a half. Gotta get him EOB. They said everything went good. We talked to him yesterday. He was good spirits. He was back. Everything was good. I mean, according to them, nothing's changed. We're good?
Good.